If you thought AMD was done taking the fight to Intel, guess what? You were wrong, just like a lot of us. Because AMD's got a bunch of CPUs that they aim to release soon, and they're gonna change things up in the market. This comes thanks to an EEC listing, which also gave us information about Intel's 10th gen lineup. In this listing, there's a bunch of new AMD CPUs, one of which is the Ryzen 5 3500, which is a 65-watt desktop processor. This isn't the only 65-watt CPU in the listing. These include a new 8-core Ryzen 7 3700, the 12-core Ryzen 9 3900 and the 6-core Ryzen 5 3600. All of these also come with the Pro version, which are going to be mostly for corporate PCs, while the rest of these CPUs will be for OEM manufacturers. This will help bring down the prices of pre-built PCs, since they will be most likely running on slower clock speeds because of the lower TDP as compared to the 105 and 95 watt TDP siblings. The most interesting CPU though is the Ryzen 5 3500, which could very well be a binned Ryzen 5 3600. Now if you don't know what a binned CPU is, they're just higher end CPUs that have manufacturing defects, so they get repurposed. If it does come at the same core and thread count, but with lower clock speeds, it's a great choice for budget gamers. As for when these will hit the market, we can expect them sometime after October. But that's not all AMD plans to release. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD, said that they have a bunch of products coming in soon, which means the 7nm chipsets as well. One of these unannounced products could very well be the RX 5800, which is the Navi 12 GPU we've been hearing a lot about. This GPU will even be more powerful than the RTX 2080 Ti because it has 64 compute units. While their current 7nm lineup, like the RX 5700, do take on the RTX 2080 Supers, they're no match for the RTX 2080 Ti. There's no match over there from AMD. So hopefully, the upcoming unannounced GPUs will take that fight to them. And just as we thought we were done with CPU news, Intel has released their 10th generation Ice Lake lineup. They finally moved away from 14nm and have announced and released their 10nm chipsets. Do keep in mind, these are laptop CPUs and not desktop CPUs. But hey, 10nm is 10nm and we're just glad Intel has finally made the move. So they've announced 11 CPUs this time around instead of 6 from last time. But they've categorized this differently. You have the Y series and the U series. The U series is the more powerful one, as it has only one IC that has 2 cores and 4 threads, while the rest of that lineup has 4 cores and 8 threads. The top end i7 10668G7 can go all the way up to 3.6 GHz, which means it will require more power at 28 watts. On the other hand, the Y series is way more power efficient. It starts with the i3 that requires 9 to 12 watts of power because it's just a 2-core 4-thread CPU. However, the higher end models that have 4 cores and 8 threads require the same amount of TDP, which is pretty amazing. Even the high-end i7 1060G7 that can go all the way up to 3.4 GHz on all cores requires the same low TDP. And before you ask about the names, yep, Intel have changed it, but thankfully they have a handy guide so that you can understand what the name means. As seen from the image on screen, the first 2 digits are the generation, the next 2 are the SKUs, meaning which variant it is, and the last 2 digits show which type of GPU it has. So the higher the number, the more powerful it is. Speaking of GPUs, the G4 and the G7 use Intel's new Iris Plus technology, which means, according to Intel themselves, you can see double the performance as compared to previous integrated graphics cards. It is reported that over 31 laptops are already in production, so we can expect these to release by the end of the year. If you liked the video, let us know in the comment section below, and for more tech news, subscribe to TechFix.